Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Well, today we've got something a little bit different again. I have upgraded my PMDG 737-700 to the Airline livery that is in Flight Simulator 2020. It's not exactly the same because my airline is called KVM World Travel and the one in 2020 is just World Travel. So we're all going to be part of one virtual airline, KVM World Travel, and I have put the 2020 World Travel logo and paint scheme on the back of the 737. So I think it's looking quite sharp and quite nice actually. Now, given this simulator is way over 10 years old, I still think it looks quite good. There's a lot of fun to be had, a lot of gameplay, a lot of immersion, and it's not actually that much different than 2020. When you think of the immersion and the things that you can do on it, and the planes that are available are just absolutely amazing. But I'm still liking the 737-700 from PMDG, even though it is ancient, it is really, really old. If you look at the flight model, it is still a very excellent representation of a 737, especially when you compare it with the 2020 Flight Sim 2020 737 of the 737 MAX. This PMDG model is still a very good looking plane. So I've painted it in my own airline colors, KVM World Travel. And the green that says underneath, where a smile goes a long way. It's like a little slogan thing, you know. Smile goes a long way. But I think it looks rather sharp, especially with the tail design there from the 2020 World Travel. The Flight Sim 2020 World Travel livery on the back tail. I think it looks really cool. So we're going to take a little short hop today in this as part of our airline services. We're going to go from Tampa just across to Orlando International. So it's a short flight. But I'm going to take some photos of the scenery and the clouds while we're up at around about 11,000 feet. And we're going to compare them to Flight Sim 2020 of what things look like around 11,000 feet. I know it's not a fair comparison, because this flight sim is over 10 years old, but we're not comparing them in that sense. We're just having a look at how different they are. And I'm really just going to show you that there's still a lot to enjoy in FSX. The planes still look good, the clouds look beautiful, still a lot of fun and a lot of enjoyment and immersion to be had in FSX. I just can't say goodbye to all the old memories and the fun that I had in this game for over 10 years. So I just like it's a sentimental thing. I just love coming back to FSX and having a few flights and enjoying the game. Okay, so let's get underway. I'm going to assign my co-pilot to starting up the plane, going through the checklists and the engines and everything. So that's all underway. Our passengers are actually on board, ready to go. Everyone's settled in. So actually I think we are ready for gate departure.
The captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign if you haven't already done so. We request that you stow your luggage and take your seats so we can have an on-time departure. For those passengers seated in a designated exit row, you may be called upon to open that exit in the event of an emergency. Please refer to the safety briefing card or the exit row information card located in the seatback pocket to ensure you meet the exit row criteria and understand the information. After carefully reviewing this card, if you believe you could be injured, do not wish to, or cannot perform the functions listed, please notify a flight attendant. At this time, we also request that you store your electronic devices until we are above 10,000 feet. I will notify you when it is safe to bring these items out for use. If there's any question as to what device you can use on board today, please refer to the Once Before section of your magazine. Thank you for your attention.
And just look at the wing views there. As the engine started up, you saw the smoke come out. The detail in the engine and the fans for this model just really are beautiful. A really nice model considering the age of this actual flight sim.
All electronic devices do need to be turned off and put away at this time. This does include all cellular phones and two-way pagers.
Now we ask that you direct your attention to the forward side of each cabin to the TV monitors for a brief and important safety message.
Insert the metal fitting into the buckle and tighten the strap. To unfasten your belt, pull up on the buckle. Turbulence may occur unexpectedly, so keep your seat belt fastened during the flight, even when the sign is not on. Cell phones, two-way pagers, and all other electronic devices should be off and stowed by the emergency lighting system. Each cabin exit door is equipped with an evacuation slide. Some slides can also be used as a sudden change in cabin pressure will automatically release an oxygen mask above your seat. Take the mask and pull it firmly towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Put the mask on and pull the elastic band over your head.
Right, well, we're taxiing down to the active runway here. We've got an Airbus coming onto the taxiway over there. Let me know what you think in the comments about this PMDG 737. I think it looks great. I'm enjoying it, but I am interested to know if there's anyone else out there who is still enjoying Flight Simulator X. If you're enjoying Flight Simulator X, FSX, let me know in the comments. Be nice to know that I'm not alone in my love of this game. As old as it is still an awesome little flight simulator. Of course, it cannot be compared with Flight Sim 2020, but as it is, just as a standalone little game, flight simulator, and as old as it is pretty damn good, really. Okay, so we're ready to taxi onto the active runway. So I am going to get a few things set up in the cockpit here. Make sure our flight plan is loaded. Yes, it is. Now up in the flight control panel, I'm going to make sure the auto throttle is off, flight director is on. Our altitude today is going to be 11,000 feet. It's a very short hop, so we don't need to travel very high up in the air today. 11,000 feet. We're going to climb, so I'm going to put the virtual speed on about 1,700. Just a nice, slow, gentle climb out of Tampa. Right, I think we can taxi onto the active runway. Right, to get our camera in a good position for departure, around about there. Right, can bring our throttle up. Not right up to full throttle, but just enough to really get us moving, get us rolling, and then I'll slowly bring it up. Now we've got the flaps down 3, we've got the trim set down, so the plane should just gently start to lift off the runway all by itself as we reach around about 140 knots. So hopefully that will go according to plan. Love these wing views. The engines just look fantastic in this model. Here we go, starting to lift off now. So all I'm going to do, bring up the gear, and I'm going to use the trim to control the nose so that we stay at around about 10 degrees as we climb out of Orlando. 10 to 15 degrees climb out is always pretty good, I feel. Start to bring up the flaps one stage at a time. Now our flight plan is actually behind us, so we're going to have to do a little bit of a loop, I think. Okay, auto throttle I'm going to arm, and we're going to bring the speed up to around about 250 knots today. 250 knots we're going to travel at. Around about 250. Airspeed mode on. Altitude, going to hit the altitude hold button. I'm going to put the switch on to GPS, and I'm going to turn on the autopilot. Navigation mode on, and hopefully our plane will turn and intercept our flight plan. So it's goodbye to sunny Orlando. Goodbye to sunny Tampa. We're on our way to Orlando International. Okay, bring our flaps all the way up now. Now we can see on this display here we've got our speed mode on, altitude mode is turned on, altitude hold and lock. So we are in the navigational hold switch is on. So we should follow our GPS. Right, I'm going to take a few photos on this trip, remember, because I'm going to compare it with Flight Sim 2020. We're going to do the exact same flight in Flight Sim 2020. We're not comparing it for quality wise, because you can't compare the two. This is over 10 years old. But I'm just having a look and seeing what it's like in comparison in regards to the quality of the clouds and the views and the landscapes when you're 11,000 feet up, and just to show really that there is a lot of fun, a lot of immersion, a lot of enjoyment to be yet had in FSX. Of course, a lot of people don't have the high-end machines to run the Flight Sim 2020. And I really think the FSX is a really good option if you want a flight sim that looks really nice with heaps and just a mega ton load of aircraft and scenery that you can always get to add on to the simulator. It still is a really amazingly good little flight simulator for the age of it. Now look at the model of this plane. This just looks lovely, the PMDG 737-700. I've painted it in my airline, KVM World Travel. I'm going to take a photo of that because that looks absolutely lovely. The clouds also look nice and fluffy and light. I really enjoy it. I'm enjoying this FSX. This is the flyby view, which I dearly miss in Flight Sim 2020. Something that's really missing. It's a big loss for Flight Sim 2020. The flyby view is something that I really enjoy. The water there doesn't look all that good, all that realistic. I can say that straight away, that the edges of the lake are a little bit square. I'm going to have a look in the options and just see where I've got my water settings. Water effects, mid-range. Let's put it up high, the water effects, and see what kind of a difference it makes to the look of that water from the altitude that we're at. Okay, let's have a look. Is it any better? Well, it's a little bit better, but As I say, you can't compare it with Flight Sim 2020. But look at that. That scenery, the landscape and the clouds there on that view, and the sky just looks awesome. It really is comparable to Flight Sim 2020. It does look nice. You have to be honest. Right, let's have a look at our flight plan. Yes, we are heading over here to intercept our flight plan and just head over to Orlando International.
Once you reach a comfortable cruising altitude, ladies and gentlemen, the flight attendants will be in the cabin and offer you a cocktail beverage of your choice, along with breakfast. There are 5 flight attendants on board today, primarily for your safety. If there's anything we can do to make your trip more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. I would like you to sit back and relax.
Sit back and relax and enjoy the flight.
Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck. We're level at our cruise altitude, so I'm going to turn off the seatbelt sign at this time. So you're free to move about as necessary. However, when seated, we would like you to keep your seatbelts comfortably fastened for your safety. We just checked the weather and expect smooth sailing for most of the flight. So for the most part, we're going to stay quiet and let you enjoy the entertainment and service, and we'll be talking with you later on.
I'll just take another couple of photos. Just take another couple of photos here, and then I think we could practically go in and start descending. I think it's such a short flight plan today. I don't want to overshoot. I wanted to get up to 10 or 11,000 feet for the photos, but I don't really want to overshoot the runway or the airport. So I'm going to start bringing my altitude down already. We'll start to descend. Just a nice, slow, gentle descent. Nothing over dramatic. Our virtual speed we'll set at 1,800 feet per minute, so that's all set. Our speed, we can probably bring our speed down a little bit. The plane will want to speed up as we're descending into Orlando. Quite like this paint scheme of the KVM World Travel, the one I painted on this 737. I used the tail art from the Flight Sim 2020 World Travel aircraft, the World Travel livery, and I think it looked rather sharp. So I think I'm going to include this plane in a virtual airline in conjunction with Flight Sim 2020, the World Travel aircraft we have on that simulator, and this one. We can fly them together. Enjoy both simulators, I think. Especially since the 737 MAX in 2020, I don't really know how to paint it. I wish I could paint it. I would paint it in my livery, my airline colours, but I haven't got that advanced yet with my painting skills. However, I can paint the aircraft in FSX, which is one of the big enjoyments for me in FSX. To be honest, I am a bit of an artist, and I love the creativity of being able to paint the planes and create liveries. Okay, we've got a good view of some landscape there, so I'm going to take a photo of that so that when we do our trip in the Flight Sim 2020, we're going to do the exact same trip, the exact same flight, and we'll have a look at the difference in the scenery and the clouds and such. Okay, we can hear the beacon, the Morse code from the ILS. Our radio is obviously turned on, so that is good. That is a good thing. See, the landscape looks lovely, and the water itself looks good too, but just around the edges and the coastline, it doesn't sort of mold in or meld in very good. There's no sort of beach sort of textures along there. It's just water, straight edge, and then landscape. But the landscape in itself does look okay. Looks good. Okay, we're coming in towards our final approach now. I'm going to be turning on the approach hold mode very, very soon. And we can lower our gear. Doesn't that look nice? I'm going to take a photo of that because that looks great. Okay, you can see by these diamonds here, our plane is trying very hard to line up the runway. We'll drop our flaps a little bit more. Bring our speed down. Okay, just before we touch down, I'll be turning off the flight director. Turn off the flight director, turn off the auto throttle and the autopilot. Put down our flaps a little bit more. Okay, here I go. Turn off flight director, auto throttle, autopilot. Whoops, we're down a little bit low. Here we go. Let's see if we can do a nice smooth touchdown. A little bit of a flare. There we go. Not too bad. Put on our speed brakes. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Orlando International Airport. Right, let's bring up our flaps now.
It's going to take the captain just a few moments to taxi to the gate, so we ask that you remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off and the aircraft has come to a complete stop at the gate. That will be your only indication that it's safe to get up and move about the cabin. We also ask that you keep the out clear of any carry-on baggage. This is the termination of our flight this morning, so we ask that you check the back pockets, closets, and overhead bins for any articles you may have brought with you. Extra care should be taken when opening the overhead bins as heavy articles may have shifted during our flight. On behalf of your entire flight crew, it's been our pleasure serving you this morning. Have a pleasant stay.
Yes, have a pleasant stay at Orlando. And thank you for flying with KVM World Travel. Certainly hope to see you back here again very soon. Beautiful sunny day here in Orlando. Just a little bit of light cloud. Come into here, try and get our wheel right on the dot. And I think that will do us right there. And my co-pilot will switch off the engines. And that's it. Welcome to Orlando. Hope you enjoyed the flight, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. And hope you enjoyed taking a look at this little plane, the PMDG 737-700. It's as old as the hills, but it runs smooth. It runs like a dream, just like FSX. If you have a slower computer and an older computer, FSX still runs beautifully. There's some beautiful airplanes you can fly in FSX. And certainly a lot of fun, a lot of immersion and enjoyment to be had in FSX, that is for sure. And like I said, it's just hard for me to say goodbye to all the nice old memories and the fun that I had on this simulator. So I'm going to keep flying it along with Flight Simulator 2020 as well with my virtual airline, KVM World Travel. Make a comment down below. What do you think of this old game? Do you still use it? Do you still fly FSX and why do you still like it? And interested to know how many people still fly FSX, because I like it, and I don't think I am the only one. A lot of immersion and a lot of fun yet to be had in this simulator. Okay, I'll see you on the next video. I'm going to do the exact same flight in one of my newer planes in Flight Sim 2020. We're going to do the exact same route for my airline world travel. And we're going to take some photos and compare what the graphics and the terrain looks like from 11,000 feet. And I'm sure that when you see both of them and compare both of them, you'll realize that they're not actually worlds apart. Excuse the pun. There is still a lot of beauty and a lot of nice scenery and enjoyment to be had in FSX. Okay, talk on the next video. Make a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't mind, and please subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you again soon. Stay safe, everybody. Ciao.